Welcome to the live, you guys. I know it's a little bit late. I started with such a different live, and it was like a comedy live, but I changed it to this one because I feel like I could do more of a commentary. Every time I get on the camera, my nose starts itching. I don't know if it is because I get nervous or what, but it literally starts itching. Um, I'm going to go over this video. It talks about some of the signs that men can show whenever they don't like you, or whenever they resent you, or they just simply hate you. And sometimes we don't want to believe that men can actually hate a woman, but they do. And not all men love women, but all men that don't love women can't date those women. And sometimes we think because they're dating us, they don't hate us. But a lot of the times they hate you. And the reason they're dating you is because they hate you. And it sounds very contradictory, but really that's what it is. They want to get back at you for whatever reason. Maybe they were not raised the right way. Maybe they hate their mom. Maybe they hate who they are. They don't know who they are, or they're detached from their feelings. And they, want to just hurt you. And the way that they can do that is by getting close to you, and that is through dating you. And so I believe, like, with some of the stuff that these people are going to talk about, these ladies are going to share, I probably will be able to relate or agree with. But let's go ahead and get started with this first lady right here.
Here, where a creator is explaining the easiest way to tell if your man hates you is if he ruins your birthday. And that video triggered me because it's true. Like with my ex-husband, every year without fail, on my birthday, he would find a reason to argue with me. Like I've had so many birthdays with him to where I just spent the day in bed, just feeling shattered, crying, just feeling shitty about myself. And there was this one year before we broke up.
I just want to say too, I'm sorry that the video is a little bit dark. I'm still working on getting the whole setup, and I'm using the camera from the computer, and so it doesn't get a lot of light in there, and I think that's why it looks darker.
I wanted to see if he was really ruining my birthday on purpose because I was just thinking, like, I actually like told him, I was like, I feel like every year something happens on my birthday because it's just like, why is it a coincidence? And so that was before my birthday. So my birthday comes around, we had these plans, everything was set in motion. And so we get in the car the day of my birthday, we start pulling out the garage, and lo and behold, we didn't even pull out the parking lot yet. He starts arguing with me, and I just remember it was something very petty, and I really wasn't trying to like feed into the argument. And the guy starts punching on stuff in the car. He explodes. And all I remember is that the argument was something petty. It wasn't even anything big, but his actions were crazy as if something major had happened. But then that solidified my suspicions that he was indeed messing my birthday up on purpose. He was doing it on purpose. And for that creator to say, that's the way to tell that your man hates you, I can't believe it. Like, I can't believe it. Like, why? I just never understood why he would hate me. It's like, why?
Yeah, it's unbelievable to think that a guy can actually hit a woman, but sometimes they might be into men and they don't know how to come out of the closet, like they say. And so they resent the woman. They don't want to be with the woman, but they need her as a cover up. I mean, there's many reasons. That could be one of them. It could be that he doesn't like her, but he doesn't know how to break it to her, like, hey, I need to leave you, or I don't want to be with you. And some men, they hate their mother, and the way to get back at them is by hurting a woman. And so, I mean, because she's not even ugly, she's very pretty. And sometimes, it is the man. And maybe he was seeing another girl too. Guys do that whenever they see another woman, they don't want to be seen out there with their girlfriend. So that could be another reason why he was like making a big deal.
Let's talk about the when your boyfriend starts to hate you trend I've been seeing on here lately. If you've ever been in a long term relationship, you may have experienced the feeling when you sense that your boyfriend just hates you, or maybe you start hating your boyfriend. And yes, of course, relationships change over time, but I swear it's the little things that matter the most. It's all in the fine details. Because I've been in this position myself where I have overstayed a long term relationship way past its expiration date. So I can quickly sense it in other couples, and it's usually a ticking time bomb. It's like the kiss of death. The honeymoon phase is gone, and then you realize you guys aren't even friends. It's like you both just start to get on each other for the littlest things, and you're usually only still together because it's easier than just breaking up. I saw one girl on here talk about her experience, and I can't remember the original creator, I'm so sorry, but she said she knew that it was over when her boyfriend stopped letting her put her cold toes on him. And it is always those little details. You stop cuddling on the couch, you argue about what to watch on TV, you might stop sleeping together, or it turns into more of like a chore, and you both know exactly what to do or say to get under that person's skin. Long-term relationships are rarely as happy as you think because most couples never experience just being friends first. So they have no idea what to expect once the love and passion fades, and that is like a make or break partner relationship. Because most people are together for the wrong reasons, they just don't know it. Like, you're dating someone because they make you feel good or because you make them feel good, but on paper, do you guys make sense being together? Do you have things in common? Do you have shared interests besides just being attracted to each other? These couples will realize they have nothing in common, so there's no solid foundation to fall back on. And then they are stuck just wasting each other's time. Meanwhile, one of them, or even both of them, have already emotionally checked out of the relationship. And usually,
She's saying like when people date each other and they are together, oftentimes is a girlfriend and boyfriend who are together and they have had sexual relations. So the oxytocin is high and has been high. So that's why they call it the honeymoon for that reason. And the ones that it's over, then they don't want to break up and they want to stay together. And that's why I personally don't agree with sex before marriage or, I mean, I learned my lesson, but sex before marriage or also being a boyfriend or a girlfriend for long periods of time, to me it's like it doesn't make sense because there's no commitment. And therefore, like, if you steal a girlfriend for more than 2 or 3 years, it's like clearly he doesn't know what he wants. He doesn't want you, and he doesn't know what he wants, but you are like that placeholder right there. And so of course you're gonna get on the nerves because in a way you don't want to make plans with this person because you don't know if you're going to have them for the rest of your life, and you don't want to commit. So why would you make plans, right? And sometimes I feel like men will make plan with women just to make sure that she stays there while he builds, and then he leaves. Or vice versa, the woman will drag along the man to build herself and then leave him. And so that's one of the reasons that I truly believe that that's why a lot of couples are together, because they want to build on each other, but at the end leave. And also because they had sexual relations prematurely.
this stage is where cheating is more likely to happen. If you don't.
And I'm sorry, I don't know if I can say those words, so I'm gonna change it to like S, because I don't know if YouTube will let me use those words. So we're gonna change it to S.
Break up or you don't communicate exactly what's going on and try to fix it. So if you're at the point in your relationship where you're sensing that things are dead or they're feeling hopeless and there's no love there anymore, you need to be honest with yourself. Is it fixable? Do you even want to fix it? I think a lot of times it's easier to just start over with someone new, especially if you are lucky enough to not be tied to this person through marriage or having kids together. Consider yourself lucky if you aren't tied to someone with those type of things and you're feeling this way. If it feels like nothing you guys are doing is making it work, get out as early as possible, because the longer you are together, the harder it's going to be to break up eventually. And no, progressing a relationship to the next level, whatever that may be, is not going to fix things. It will only make things worse. Trust me. Y'all got to stop lying to yourselves because you are breaking your own heart.
This comment really triggered me because one time I was seeing this guy and he used to always like bring me food. We either used to go out to eat or he would bring food to my house. It got to the point where he was bringing like kitchen appliances to my home. I don't really cook. And would make food for me and like alcoholic beverages and like stuff like that. And he was really nice. Like I was into him. It was great. It was a great time. But one day I jokingly was like, why do you bring all this food? Oh my God, I'm gonna start gaining weight. And he was like, that's the plan. And I was like, what? And he said, I'm trying to fatten you up so no other guy will look at you.
Dude, that's creepy. That's so weird. Like, that's a weird dude. Like, why would he say that? But also, guys do this all the time with like girls' makeup, hair. Like, they will say things such as, like, if you're in a dating, like, if you're dating and the guy's like, oh, I don't like when you do your hair, you can just put it on a bun, or like you're trying to look over here all classy and sophisticated, your hair done, your nails done, and then he's just like, hey, you don't have to get your nails done, you look so pretty natural, you look so pretty like with your natural hair on a bun, that's with your um house clothes, and to me that's like the prettiest. And why are they doing that? And some guys will tell you the reason why, like this lady, the guy was telling her that it was so she wouldn't get fat or so she can get fat. Some guys will literally downgrade you the way you look on purpose so nobody else can want you or have you, and also with that your self-esteem gets lower.
That was the last date we had.
She definitely did good there. She dodged one for sure.
If a man is critical, he's insecure. If he tries to make you feel dumb, he feels dumb. If he puts you down about your weight, he feels bad about his weight, or he's scared he's going to be judged about his appearance. Whatever he's trying to make you feel insecure about, that is the very thing he feels the most insecure about. And he's afraid to death of being found out about. He's trying to make sure you are always feeling just a little bit less than him. You want to find a great man who treats you really well. Find a man who lifts you up. Find a man who always believes in you. Find a man who's loving to you no matter what. Enjoy the man who laughs with you, not at you, or ever at your expense. Here's one thing I can tell you for sure, is that a man who loves you will always make you feel good. Now, is he imperfect? Is he going to make mistakes? Of course he is. But if you bring those mistakes to his attention, they will break his heart, and he will hurt because he's hurt you, and he will never intentionally hurt you again, ever, period.
I think it's like a balance, when you respect a man, he's going to reciprocate. And if it's a good man, he will also, protect you, provide for you, and reciprocate the same love that you are projecting towards him. But when it's a bad man, even if you're a good person, even if you are caring and you do all these beautiful things for this man, if he's not good, he's still going to break you. That's a problem there. So as a woman, you have to know how to read the red flags and know what exactly you want, because then no matter how good you are, if you have the wrong man, he will break you and he will take advantage of you. And like this lady said, all the insecurities that they're projecting towards you is because that's how they feel. That's how they, operate.
When this man tried to downplay my motherfucking master's degree, that shit turned me off all the fucking way. He was talking about something, and I had said something about, well, I'm talking to you, YOU. He said, oh, I'm surprised you can spell. I said, well, damn, don't drop dead, Fred, when you find out I can get my fucking master's. He said, oh, they must be giving it out to anybody. I said, if they give it out to anybody, then why don't you have one yet? He said, oh, I can't afford that. I can't afford that. I'm not like you. I can't afford that. I said, well, clearly they're not giving it to any and every fucking body because it's not in everybody's tax bracket, correct? It's from what you're saying. Like, I don't know about y'all, but playing on my motherfucking achievements.
I think with men like that, the best thing to do is to walk away and not even interact with them, because men are so I mean, I'm not a guy, but I had a lot of friends, I grew up with brothers and my cousins, and I dated in the past. I haven't dated in a while. I'm single. But I have realized that guys, they are unpredictable. So like, as a woman, you always have to respect men regardless of who they are, and leave them alone. Just like this lady, she interacted with a guy that clearly wasn't stable, that clearly was, low IQ, because who says that they're clearly giving certificates or masters to anyone? They don't do that. And I know he was just trying to like let her know, oh, you have money, that's why you're getting one, not because she's necessarily smart. So with somebody saying something like that, it's just like, oh, okay, leave it there and leave, because this guy could potentially, you know, come back and court her and then hurt her later, or come back and just hurt her like right there and then. So to me, it's like, if a guy is being rude or being distasteful, the best thing to do is just to leave them alone and you go on about your way. Not even interact, not even tell them anything. Just okay, you know.
Making it seem like what I'm achieving is fucking easy and everybody can fucking do it. No, I do not think everybody can get their masters in fucking biology. No, I do not think a lot of people know how to name and fucking draw amino acids. So I'm sorry if that's something I'm not gonna let you fucking play with me about. So the last thing I'm gonna let anybody do is play me about a motherfucking degree that you bitches couldn't even possibly spell. Okay? Okay. Just saying.
If a man refuses to compliment you, he hates you. But he hates you because he knows that you can do better than him. A man that believes you're out of his league will try to humble you. And I'm talking about men that go out of their way to not compliment you. Like, you've been on several dates with this guy, has never mentioned anything about your outfit, your makeup, never once called you beautiful. Maybe you're also sending pictures to him and he'll comment on anything other than your beauty. Yeah, that man is insecure and he will stop at nothing until you feel insecure. Do not entertain men who don't make you feel beautiful.
I think this is one of the reasons why guys like to date younger women too, like below 30, like definitely below 30. And I think it's because this, I'm over 30 now, and I dated um like, I had about two boyfriends before, and I got in dates before, but I'm very like picky when it comes to like dating. So I haven't had a lot of boyfriends, but I've gone out on dinners and things like that. And I feel like a lot of the guys, they like some of the guys that I like gone out to eat or like kind of talk to, they haven't said, oh, you're beautiful, or um And I often like think that something is wrong with them. Like why they're not saying like, "Oh, your dress looks nice," or "Your hair," or "You look beautiful." And I automatically think maybe I'm not privy to them, and so I stopped talking to them. And I'm glad to hear this lady talk because now it shows me that they actually don't like you, they hate you, right? And when you're like in your 20s, you try to kind of accommodate that to them, or kind of think that what they're saying or how they projecting towards you, it's okay. And that's not okay. And after 30, you feel like you don't have time to play, so you kind of cut everybody short if they don't behave the right way. And I think that's why a lot of men choose younger women, and younger women are okay because they haven't gained that wisdom yet, that understanding. They haven't gotten through those trials yet. So they think they have time, and they think because they're young and beautiful that no man can hurt them. And that's when they go wrong, they get hurt, and then now they're in the 30s, and now they don't want to date men, and they're like hurt, you know. So it's a whole thing for sure.
How I found out that the boy that I was talking to hated my existence. Just like anybody else, there was the honeymoon phase. Of course, everything was good, everything was nice, and then the 2 to 3 week mark came. First of all, he will always bail on our plans, and when he bails on our plans, he will tell me at the lastest minute possible. Yes, I said lastest. I need people to understand. I'm already fully dressed, makeup done, hair done, looking nice, smelling good, and I get a call. I don't even get a call. I'm tripping. I have to reach out at the last second, like, hey, like, what time are you gonna be on the way? And then this is his response. Oh, we're not going no more. Oh, that's dead. You need to die. You're dead. Now, when he cancels, he doesn't try to make it up, or even tell me the reason why he canceled. Number two, he never really initiated anything. And even if he initiates something, it's probably to come to his house, which is, there's no problem with it, but like sometimes when he bails on me, I'm like, okay, you know what, I can come over and we can just chill, on some chill age, like I don't require too much. Now that I think about it, maybe that was the plan because you don't want to spend money outside when you take me out. Yay. Another reason why I knew that he hated me is because he never really celebrated my successes for real, for real. Now you might be wondering, why didn't I leave? I will tell you exactly why. When I tell you that this man was my type to the T, I'm talking to the T, my type. So it was honestly just giving eye candy. You know what I mean? Which is shallow, yes, I understand. But like the first few weeks we started talking, he was not acting like this at all. Let me tell you guys how it started. The first few weeks, I was his lock screen, we were going to sleep on the phone, everything. I was love bomb. Oh, bomb me, but I like that. Oh, bomb me. Oh, bomb me. Like this man became cold hearted. Like also of you in the comments are probably going to be like, oh, but why did you leave from the. Yo, he was never like that. Now, I'm not going to act like a saint. When he did piss me off and cancel our plans, I definitely made plans with somebody else the next day, and I did not care. Because the canceling thing was back to back to back. Every single weekend, he would cancel on me. I couldn't take it anymore. And then we ended up getting into an argument one day, and he really opened his mouth to verbally tell me that he hates me. And then I was like, I knew it. Yeah, guys, that's really how I found out that the boy I was talking to hated me. I feel like I left out some more detail, but like maybe when I find my journal, I'll get to the editorial program. But I was just, let me just give you a little bit of tea. If you want to see more of this, go ahead and follow me. Yeah, yeah.
That was pretty good. I thought there were gonna be more, but I paused it. I think that's really good. We're getting the theme of like certain guys. This is not all guys. I know that in my heart. It's not all guys. It's just certain guys, and you ladies have to know, like to read those red flags, not to like this guy was making plans with her and then canceling. You don't want to do that because as a woman you're busy, you're doing your own thing, you make plans, you put it on the schedule, and if it cancels, then like let's say it cancels and then he wants to reschedule for the next 2 days, you can't because you're busy, you have things to do. Now he has to wait until like next weekend, let's say. So make sure that you're busy, and make sure that if the guys keep doing that canceling, he's not the one for you and he's just playing games.
So I'm not sure if anybody else has experienced this, but I'm going to talk about it. And if you have, leave a comment. And I'm basically just going to talk about the moment that I realized that my now ex-husband didn't love me. So throughout the whole course of our 2.5 year relationship and 2 year marriage, I'm just a very affectionate person. I always have been. Yeah, that's just who I am. And I know now that I love very deeply. And like it really didn't matter who it was, I would have treated them that way anyways because I would have loved them. Well, anyways, so for the entirety of our relationship, I was very affectionate with my words and like actions. So I just remember like when I would tell my ex why I loved him or how much I loved him, I would like I would talk about like the things about him that I loved. You know what I mean? So like instead of I love your smile or I love your personality, it would be like I love this specific thing about like the specific thing that you do and here's why I love it and et cetera, et cetera. So like I was just always really good at that, like using my words to express like my feelings or my love for other people. And for a long time I just thought that like he wasn't, you know what I mean? Like he didn't I'm saying you know what I mean a lot. I'll try to stop. But anyways, he wasn't very affectionate with like his words. He did do a lot of acts of service, I guess you can say. And then I guess that's how I justified in my head why I wasn't receiving the vocal affirmations that I was wanting. And I remember like kind of towards the end of our marriage that I asked him actually, I was like, what do you love about me? Because whenever like we would get into a fight, he would do this thing as a lot of toxic people do instead of like apologizing to you face to face and then acknowledging what they did and why they're not going to do it again and the steps they're going to take to ensure that. He would instead write me little like handwritten letters or just like text messages, and in it would basically say like the same like few things every single time, and I kind of caught that pattern because there were too many notes. And it was always along the lines of like, I love how much you love me. I love how you take care of me. And it was basically just like a list of things that I was doing that he loved. So it wasn't like necessarily me. He never like complimented things about like my essence, my soul, my vibe, the things that I'm passionate about. And like, I just remember thinking that one day, I'm like, wow, like I shower you with affection and affirmations. You only are able to write them to me. What's up? I want my knee. Oh, dang it. You're cute. And he wouldn't even do that the way that I wanted. So after about like 2 years of that behavior, when I sat down and I questioned, I was like, do you like love anything about me? Like, can you tell me things about me that you love, not things that I do for you? And he couldn't even answer that. And I just remember like feeling so defeated because I'm like, wow, he doesn't even really know me. Like he doesn't love the things about me that I would love about me. You know, he loves the things that I do for him, which is classic narcissistic behavior. They have to hold on to you because they know that no one else is going to treat them as good as you do because you are the embodiment of love. Like it was.
I disagree with her. I think the reason they hold to you is because they know that they can get away with that with you, not that they won't find somebody else that will love them as much as you. They know they can find somebody else that loves them as much as you or even more, But the reason they staying with you is like, why close the door if the door can stay open? Why, like, I'm sure he wasn't faithful at this point. So because that comes hand in hand, because they want to have like different supplies, especially if she's claiming he was a narcissist. He was not uh, thinking that she was the only one that loved him. I'm sure he already had like a group of people that he got supply from.
That's such a common thing that I hear from like my exes is they like when they would compare me to their exes, they would just tell me how much they loved how I was so much more affectionate than their other partner. And I used to think it was just because like back in my not so very girl days, I used to think it was just because they were bitches and mean and like didn't know how to show love and et cetera, et cetera. And I know now maybe that wasn't the case, but
Because she's over 30. I should name this video like over 30, you know best.
it's just like I just want someone to love me the way that I do. And I realized that he was never going to be able to do that. So yeah, I think it was like just after that moment I had that realization, and probably wasn't like very soon after when shit really hit the fan and we ended up apart.
There's a video going around of a woman saying that one of the ways to tell that your boyfriend or husband hates you is to see how he acts on your birthday. And I saw a creator that just said that she saw that and it triggered her. And I've been triggered. I've been triggered. And this is why. I was with this guy for 4 years, and he would always have just really big emotions and not, I guess, know how to handle his really big emotions, like anger. That's an emotion. Also, an inability to name his emotions. Instead of naming emotions, for example, he would say, I'm mad and it's your fault. So I internalized that a lot as it continued to build up over 4 years. Like, it did not happen overnight. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, my relationship is great, like, I hope it is. And I bet it, like, I bet it is great. And also, like, still pay attention to some signs. I wish that I had, I wish that I had. So the story, for it to get into it, it was coming around to my birthday. He was like, what do you want for your birthday? I was like, I just really want to be around trees for my birthday. And I really want this bike, this really specific bike. And if you want to help me pay for this bike, that would be really cool. Like, you don't have to, but like, that would be really cool. I just want to spend time with you and be around trees. And in certain words, he was like, that's a stupid idea. He's like, how about instead we go to a winery in Napa? And so now it requires some context, because he previously, like months previously, he asked me if I wanted to go to Napa with him the following day for wine tasting. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like a really cute plan. Amazing. And then it became a really intense fight on the way there. And then he was trying to tell me something that I did that was, like, I guess, my fault. And then him saying, I wanted to remember my uncle that had passed away. I wanted to remember him by going to Napa. And he was like, if I'm ever going to Napa and you're coming with me, it's never about you or us. It's always going to be about him. So, like, okay, I get it. And I can make space for that. That's fine. Like, it was like, okay, good to know. I would have loved to understand what it meant to you before you invited me to go to Napa with you for wine tasting, thinking it was just going to be a cute thing for us. But, like, it's okay, like, amazing, like, noted, in the future it will be about your uncle. So the time comes around and he says to me around my birthday, he's like, how about we go to Napa for your birthday? And I was like, well, is that for you or is that for me? And he was like offended. He was like, of course it's for you. So I was like, and he was like, a vineyard is trees. So like it's still trees. And I was like, okay, like for the sake of not arguing and just like giving the man what he wanted, it was like, okay, fine.
She says a lot like I'm kind of fast forward hers because she's using too much of that word, and it just I don't like that word as much.
Their husband's having just fucking disdain for them. And it's visible. I can see it, you can see it, she can see it. And it's just this like, ha ha ha, my husband finds me so annoying. No, no. If my husband is not obsessed with me, 99% of the time, I won't have him. Your spouse should not openly dislike your personality. They should not openly be annoyed by you. Like, yes, am I annoyed by my husband sometimes? Sure. But 99% of the time, I look at that man like he is the most prized possession in the world. And I 1,000% expect him to look at me the same way. If you ever catch my husband on camera looking at me the way some of these husbands look at their wives, divorce. Divorce immediately. Stop normalizing your husband openly hating you.
The thing is, like, we say things like this, we women sometimes say things like that, and we don't realize it. We don't know until we're actually there. Like, she's saying it like, if he ever looks at me like that, and we said it in the past, like, oh, if he ever does this, and then there you go, you give them a chance, you give them another chance. So for her to say like, oh, if my husband ever looks at me like that, like, you don't know because you're not there yet. But if we will know once you're there, if you ever happen to be there, and hopefully never she goes through that. But sometimes, like, just give the advice because you never know if how you're gonna react when you're actually in the situation.
He's nonchalant because he doesn't actually like you. He leaves you undelivered because he doesn't actually like you. There's a girl on his phone who never has to text him first, and he finally texts you when she doesn't text him back. He knows how you deserve to be treated, and he'd be doing it if he actually wanted you. He knows how to communicate consistently, and he'd be doing it if he wanted to talk to you. He's not taking you out on dates because he's already getting all the access he wants, so he feels no incentive to. He's not coming back because he misses you. It's because he knows he'll still have access. And by the way, he'll keep losing respect for you. My love, this is your sign to move on from this man. Save this and listen on repeat. I love you and you deserve better.
And that is really the only reason a guy will keep you around. A guy that doesn't want you, a guy that doesn't love you, a guy that could care less for you. The reason that he will keep you around is just because the door is open, why not? And then you don't have a backbone, and they can keep doing that. So until you say no, then that's when they will leave. If anything, sometimes they still linger around. um, this video was very interesting because it does shows how a lot of other women see these red flags, and how sometimes the younger generation, because I noticed like all of these women, they're above 30 for sure, and they noticed these patterns from men, certain men. And I feel like whenever you're above 30 is really when you start seeing these patterns, because earlier than that you don't. And you might hear other women speaking about it, but if you're very smart you might take the advice, and sometimes we don't take the advice. But the Bible does teach us to teach the younger generation, to teach them wisdom. And I feel like this is wisdom on how to set your boundaries, on how to read red flags. And like this behavior from men is not okay. And there's nothing that you can tell them or you can do. The only thing that you can do as a woman is just walk away from it. See the red flag and walk away from it. There's no reason to tell them why, or they need to fix it or whatever, because they're not going to. They're not going to. Um, they know what to do, but they don't want to do it. Men are very smart, and they know what they need to do, and you don't need to mother them. They had a mother. And guys, sometimes that's why you see couples, like your ex-boyfriend, you might see him and he's treating his new girl really good, and they get married, and you think, why didn't he do that with me? Because he didn't want to. And even if you told him, you were just annoying to him to tell him that, because you're not his mom. And so the best thing that a girl can do is just walk away when you feel that the guy hates you, when you feel like he doesn't love you. And a guy will use you until he is ready to leave you for another source of income or energy, whatever he needs. So I'm gonna let this video here. I'm gonna leave the link down below in case you want to go ahead and watch it. I feel like it's a really good video to finish up. It is 55 minutes long. It's very long. But I'll go ahead and leave the link in case you want to go and watch it. Thank you so much for joining me. I see you guys there. Hi. So thank you so much for joining me. And I will do more lives. And you guys bear with me. I am doing, I'm getting some stuff together, like the lighting a little bit better, the microphones and all this stuff. So just please bear with me, subscribe, like the video. And if there is any videos you want me to react, I will also leave a email down below so you can email it to me. Other than that, thank you so much. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you soon. Okay, I think I'm still on. Hold on. Let me look at the comments here real quick. I believe I'm still live. Okay, there you go. Let's look at the comments, because the comments sometimes are very interesting to hear. Okay, so let's see if they give us any more like notes or anything that we need to look out for. If he's ruining your birthday on purpose or ruining important occasions, holidays, etc., you are dealing with a narc who sincerely hates you. That's so true. Women take entirely too much crap. I'm sick of this. Normalize deleting the first signs of any of this mess discussed. Well, it should be normalized. Is that some women don't want to do it because they want to be faithful to their boyfriends, but it's not a husband, it's a boyfriend. For some reason, women think that they need to live with their boyfriend, they need to cater to the boyfriend, they need to respect and give benefits, and benefits, I mean like extra things to a boyfriend as if he was a husband. If you feel that man doesn't like you, you feeling or intuition is not lying. Okay, that one was weird to read. Downplaying women's career abilities, achievements, hobbies, things they are good at is the most underhanded way to show they do not respect you. I totally agree with that. When a man tells you, I just saw this light in you, I immediately finish the sentence in my head and I want to snuff it out. Oh, snuff it out. Two narcs have told me this. Shooter. I realized my ex-husband hated me when I was crying a ton of gifts, or when I was carrying a ton of gifts into his family Christmas party and I slipped and fell. He immediately began yelling at me to get up, learn how to walk, don't wear those stupid shoes. If I don't know, okay, yeah, they were definitely in the phase of breaking up or divorcing here soon. He had a girl on the side already for sure. For me, one of the signs is he blames everything on you. His stupid actions, your fault. Bad weather, your fault. He forgot something, your fault. Kids didn't, yeah, that's like textbook. I don't have the time or energy for the mental gymnastics. I just rather not date. Problem solved. That's a problem. A lot of people are giving up on dating, and I feel like it's not all men You have to source out and read the red flags, know your morals, your values, serve God, and believe that God has greater for you. Because a lot of women want a great man, man of God, but they don't go to church. Or they are into showing off their body on Instagram, getting BBLs, but they want a man of God. They want a man that provides, and that doesn't go with it. Women that use a lot of profanity want a man of God, and it it doesn't make sense. Okay, so most of the times men don't get the woman they want, and even when they do get the woman they want, they don't treat her well also. Sometimes it's like that. Male friends can also show the same behavior. Get the person out of your life. Men also have jealousy tendencies. Yeah, a man could be jealous of you and date you. Guys do that all the time. They're jealous of a woman, but they will date her out of spite. When a man has a relationship with like S relationship with a person, um and he hates you, it's like a dominance thing, to dominate, so it's not necessarily because they love you. I heard that they can be with anyone, even if they don't like it, even if they don't like them. Okay, so let's see. A few years ago, I remember telling my husband one day, "You don't like me. You don't like me." Okay, she's using it. Okay. I was like, "What is effing?" He looked at me and never corrected me. Everything said in this video is true. Yeah. Yeah, but people, they're kind of repeating the same thing because it is so textbook when a guy doesn't like you. And like I say, when you're under 20, you don't realize it until you're after 30 because you start thinking more of it and the pattern is more obvious. It's so weird. I don't know why. And now I understand why guys don't want women over 30 and they say, oh, you hit the wall or you, they say all this nonsense, but I get it. You can get over a 20-year-old, you can get over certain women because they still don't think like that. They still don't believe things can happen to them. And so it's very unfortunate, that we live in a society where men don't respect women and women don't respect men. And it's harder and harder for women that do respect men and men that do respect women to find each other because of the same thing, that a lady that uses profanity, that uses BBLs, that uses all this stuff wants a man of God, ends up dating the man of God and breaks his heart. And the same way men do it with women, right? Like they get a woman that is good working, that believes in God, that is faithful, that likes to cook, whatever. And because he's not a child of God, and that breaks in her heart, and now she might out of spite hurt men. So it's just a whole mess, and the best thing that we can do as women that like have knowledge and wisdom is to teach the younger and those who have ears to actually listen, understand, and apply. Yeah, but thank you so much for joining me. I am gonna go ahead and log out now, and I will see you guys in the next live. Okay.